The question we're asking here simply is, what is torque? Because in the car business, we tend to throw around these terms, horsepower and torque, all the time, but most of us probably be hard-pressed to actually define exactly what horsepower or torque is. And it's kind of ironic because almost all of us know exactly what torque is. We use it every day, and we actually understand it intuitively, even if we don't think we do. And I can prove it to you. If you come up to this wrench here on the fire hydrant, and you simply yank this wrench up or down, you're using torque. Anytime you put force into something and apply it rotationally, that's torque. So if I come up to this wrench and I put a pound of force or pressure on this wrench, because this wrench is approximately a foot long, I've applied 1 pound-foot of torque to the bolt right here. Now, when I come over to this side, same thing. If I put a pound of force onto this wrench, because the wrench is about 2 feet long, quite simply, I've now applied 2 pound-feet of torque. And that's it. That's torque.
All right, if you're thinking about getting a new truck, you're probably thinking about fuel economy. Well, you're going to want some torque to go with it, because unless you're using your truck to deliver pizzas, you ain't getting anything done without it. Torque is power. It pulls trailers, hauls dirt, drags boulders. Torque is what gets the cap off your beer. And only the Ford F-150 with EcoBoost has the best combination of torque and fuel economy. Think about that. This is the 2013 Ford F-150.
Now, yes, it's a Ford commercial, but it makes some pretty good points about torque. One thing he says is, you ain't getting anything done without it, which is certainly true. And then at the end of the commercial, Dennis Leary says, F-150 with EcoBoost gives the best combination of torque and fuel efficiency. But that's not really true anymore, because now we have an EcoDiesel engine. And if you take a look at the numbers on the screen, we both make 420 pound-feet of torque, but we've got a lot better fuel economy. Now, these numbers are not from the EPA. They're actually based on Motor Trend's testing, but it's very real-world testing, so I'd be really surprised if we don't actually achieve those kinds of numbers. So it's very likely that we'll now have the bragging rights for the best combination of torque and fuel economy. Now, it should really come as no surprise that we do, because this is a diesel, and that's why people buy diesels, because they're so good at making torque, at being fuel efficient, and of course, having great durability. As a matter of fact, this is the reason we got Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Last year in 2013, Motor Trend said Ram gets Truck of the Year because of advancements to the Hemi, because of air suspension, and because of the Pentastar. But this year, they said plain and clear, Ram is Truck of the Year because of the EcoDiesel. And people have been screaming for a diesel engine and half-ton for a long time, so it's a great thing we've got one, and Ford and Chevy don't. And that's just really continuing a tradition. Dodge put a diesel engine in a truck all the way back in the 40s, long before Ford and Chevy. So let's look at some basics. Number one, it's built in Cento, in Italy. It's, of course, a 3-liter V6 with a 60-degree block. It's a dual overhead cam engine, has a water-cooled turbocharger. All told, weighs about 500 pounds. Now, as a diesel, of course, people that like diesels will say, great, torque, fuel efficiency, and durability. But everybody else will say, diesel, wait a second, doesn't that mean it's dirty and it's loud?